It's a Wednesday night in mid-February 2019, the last of a 5-game homestand. The Mariners are about to embark on a grueling stretch with 8 of their next 9 games on the road. They got a 4-1 win over the Wheeling Nailers their last time out, but they're only a couple days removed from embarrassing losses on back-to-back nights to Cincinnati and Greenville. Here's a 7th goal by Greenville.
Leading into this game was talking about our change in our mindset.
Both opponents hung an 8 spot on the Mariners over the weekend in their own barn. The Mariners sit in last place in the North Division and in desperate need of a win streak.
I remember it being pretty embarrassing to lose those 2 games at home like that, especially at home. And it was pretty late in the season.
The rival Worcester Railers are in town, a team whose number the Mariners have. To this point in the season, the Mariners are 6-3 against Worcester and won each of the last 4 meetings. Time expires. The Mariners win their 6th in a row. Tonight's game is the difference between a winning or a losing homestand. Just about time to go from the Cross Insurance Arena, the Mariners and the Worcester Railers. Jason Salvaggio scores the game's first goal for the Mariners, but Barry Almeida responds 42 seconds later, making it a 1-1 game through 1 period. Worcester gets a pair of second period goals to take a 3-1 lead, and just over a minute into the third, Tyler Barnes makes it 4-1. Held up top by McKinnon, down to the side of the goal for Barnes, who scores from the angle, just under the crossbar. And the Mariners, who failed to get the puck out of the zone, pay for it. Things are looking bleak as the score remains 4-1 with less than 13 minutes to go. But for the newest member of the Mariners, this game was much more than just a wintry Wednesday night. It was a good 72 hours in the making.
The story is like so wild.
Defenseman Josh Couturier was making his Mariners debut on this night, acquired just days ago from none other than the Wheeling Nailers, the same team that had just departed the Cross Insurance Arena 3 days ago.
So it was 14 hours out to the East Coast, did the whole thing, whatever. Sunday rolls around, the 3 p.m. matinee. I'm playing against Maine, and then, it was, 14 hours back to Wheeling, but we ended up hitting a snowstorm, and then the bus broke down, so it turned into 18 hours. So I don't know, we got home mid-morning in Wheeling, and I'm just sitting there kind of just holy, what a trip. So then I got the call from the coach.
We're playing against Wheeling, and I spoke to their coach at the time, Bavis, and we had no defenseman at that time. And I was trying to get something done. I wanted the trade to happen so he could just stay. And he's a local kid as well, so I kind of wanted it to happen where it could limit his travel.
He goes, hey, listen, I told you that if I could trade you closer to home, I would. So he goes, Maine, I just traded you to Maine. And I was like, okay, great. I'm close to home, and Portland's 6. So I was pretty excited overall.
So the trade happens on Monday, and then he gets back in his car and drives the trek again.
Next morning, woke up early, packed all my stuff. I think I left around, noon. So that was Tuesday. So, I'm driving along. I didn't know how far I was going to drive. I knew I was going to have to stop, but the snow was so bad. So I stayed overnight in town on Tuesday night. Wednesday, woke up at 4 a.m., drove the rest, whatever it was, 6:30, 7, driving through New York City during rush hour, craziness. So I got to the rink, was greeted by Ripper, our equipment manager at the time. So I kind of got some stuff figured out, cut my sticks. Then I went to a local pizza joint, got a sub for a pregame meal, and then I went to the apartments, got a nap, and then, we had a game that night, which was wild.
Rolls down on top of Almeida. The puck left head, 3-on-1 now for the Mariners. Couturier carries into the right circle. He scores! Josh Couturier in his first game as a Mariner.
It was a broken play on the wall. I think Dwyer just nudged it up to me, and I just took it. It ended up being a 3-on-1, and the D was like just favoring the other guy. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna look these guys off. Like, I'm new, I'll get a break. And like, luckily, like it was right off his hip, right in the net, and I was just like, it was a big relief too, because I only scored like 1 goal prior.
Couturier, a rookie, had just 1 goal in 32 games with the Nailers, but the Massachusetts native was rejuvenated in Maine.
I mean, just walking in there and like seeing like the new colors, like the navy or the blue and the green and the white, I'm like, this is kind of sick. Like, it was just like, it was a good change.
Worcester holds a 4-2 lead for the next 6.5 minutes. Then, a former Railer gets the Mariners a step closer. Put it off his skate in front. Gillum can't cover. Murphy scores! He puts the backhand into the roof, and the Mariners are within 1.
And there's a rebound from the net. And fortunate, I was just, in the right area, right time. I think I, put up my backhand and tried to get over the goalie. Because I don't think the goalie at the time knew where the puck was. So there was a lot of traffic.
Couturier's goal was his first as a Mariner. Murphy's was just his second. Could we have another unlikely hero waiting in the wings? 2:39 remaining, and as soon as the Mariners get that puck deep, we are getting into goalie pole territory.
We were pouring on the pressure, and it was a really good shift.
Puck picked up by Salvaggio. He'll twist and turn. Salvaggio, 2:15 to go. Stashed it in down low. McInnes is there. Hitchcock loses his stick. Pass to the slot for Gelly. Can't get a shot away.
I think I went down the wall and shoveled it back up to the point where I was supposed to be. But Johnny Mack came over.
McInnes has it there. Fakes it. Now takes a shot.
He shot it, and I think it hit a couple things, like a stick and a shin pad. And I didn't move my feet, but it came right to my stick.
When you're down by 1 in a game and the pressure's on, it's pretty much just throw everything to the net.
Hits a leg. Pratt scores! Derek Pratt shot the puck from the goal line.
Just a complete reactionary move. I just threw it on net, and it hit off the goalie's skate and went in. It was pretty exciting.
Derek Pratt's game-tying goal was also just his second of the season. Off to overtime we go. With just over 2 minutes remaining in the sudden death session, defenseman Bryson Martin gets the puck on his stick and takes off. 2:10 left in overtime.
And I remember he picks the puck up, wheels all the way down the bench side, and rips it.
Martin's going to lead it up the left wing side. Martin is in. He shoots. He scores! The Maine Mariners complete an unbelievable comeback.
I didn't even see it come off his stick. It must have just hit that stick perfectly on the flex point and everything. And another wacky goal celebration too, all the way down the middle of the ring.
The hero, Bryson Martin. It's the second time in 2018-19 that the Mariners erased a 4-1 third period deficit with less than 13 minutes remaining in the game. You may remember the first time from the first episode of Mariners Memories. The win also improved the Mariners to 6-0-1 in overtime and shootouts, and is their 6th extra time win in a row. The streak would eventually reach 10 in a season in which the team went 13-2-1 in games beyond regulation.
It's the message that we have on the bench during the shootout or during the overtime play. And I do think that it kind of stems through it of how our culture is in overtime.
I'm like, yeah, so what do we have tomorrow? And they're like, oh, we're going on a 12-day road trip tomorrow. It's like, you're kidding.
The Mariners would go on to win the first 4 games of their road swing, going 6-1-1 altogether and propelling them back into the playoff picture. We'll never know if it would have happened without the events of February 13, 2019, but we'll always have that game as another Mariners memory.